All right, this is my last Jeff Beck inspired, whammy bar inspired lesson. This is the advanced lesson, so I've already put out the beginner level lesson and the intermediate level lesson. This one gets a little more advanced. A lot of the same concepts, a lot of the same scales. And this one, the technique just gets a little bit more difficult. Do some more advanced things, but a lot of the same ideas. And that's it for this set of lessons. I'm going to get into some different and very cool, interesting things coming up in the next lessons after this. So this is the last one for this set of lessons. Of course, this lesson is available as a black belt lesson on my site now. So if you're a member, you get access to that. Get access to learn the full solo at the beginning of this lesson, the solo that you just saw. So with that, let's get into the licks. I picked 3 licks out of that solo that I thought were the best licks. I'm going to break them down, talk about the techniques I'm using, the scales, and how to make variations on these licks, all the details. So that's it. Let's get into the licks. Here's the first lick. All right, so there's the lick. This lick is basically two things going on here. There's a legato lick, a pretty simple legato lick, and then there's a little whammy bar trick going on. And the difficult part of this lick is the timing of the using the whammy tremolo bar here and getting that to sound good. So let me break that into 2 sections. So the first thing to get down here is just the legato piece, which is really easy. It's as far as a legato pattern goes, we're basically on 10, 12, and 14 in the first string, right? Those are the notes we're dealing with. Nothing special there. And in the basic pattern, we kind of lead into it, and it's like, and then after that first set of notes, so notice that it gets into this. That's the basic pattern. It's really a 6-note pattern. So if you look at the second time that I hit the 14th fret on the first string, that's where the pattern really starts. So it's like, and then the next note is a 14 after that. That's where that pattern starts. So that's the big takeaway on the pattern here. It's a pull off from 14 to 10, then hammer on to 12, then back to 14, then 12, 10. And so again, that's the second time you see 14 on the first string. That's where you see this pattern happening. So the whammy bar comes in after we do this. We kind of hang on the 14 for a second. And notice that I hit the bar down twice when I hit the 14. It's a really subtle thing, but the timing's really crucial there. So it's like, if I played it really slow, it'd be like this. And notice that I'm hitting the bar. You kind of have to be in this lick and get this thing going first. Because when I hit the bar for the first time, it's right at the same beat that I land on the 14. So it's like I'm hitting the whammy bar in the 14th fret on the first string at the same time. So when I get into this section, That's basically what I'm doing at a very slow speed. So it's if I did just the beat, it'd be like this. It's basically like a 16th note. Think of it as in 16th notes, that type of idea. So that's the two parts of the lick. You got the legato thing, right? And then you get into that whammy bar thing where it's two slaps on the whammy bar and then pull off to 12 and 10. So that's... So... Cool little lick. And then this is another opportunity. If you've seen the other licks I've done in the beginning and intermediate, you know, a lot of this is a lot of the takeaway is to take these simple ideas, the little simple whammy bar tricks, and try and put them at different places in the lick and make something new and unique. So, you know, maybe I do one of the pull-ups on this. Something like that. You know, experiment and come up with cool stuff. But that's the basic lick. Two ideas, this, and then, and that is the lick. Okay, there's the second lick, and this lick is obviously a very legato-inspired lick. And since you can see the tab below here, I'm not going to go through this, you know, through every single note. What I want to talk about is just kind of the concepts that are at play here, and how I'm working through the scales. So you can take these ideas and make your own version of this lick. You can try and play this note for note. But I just want to talk about really the concepts so you see what's going on here. So basically the main takeaway is we're playing through three positions of a scale. We're playing the B minor scale, but we're moving down the neck. So it's really important to know the scales in different positions because it allows you to do things like this. I'm not stuck to this one... I'm not stuck in this one place in the neck when I'm playing through the B minor scale. I have the freedom to move up and down. So here's the three positions that I'm playing in the scale. I'm playing the B minor scale that starts in this position on the 7th fret on the 6th string. The really basic scale that everybody probably learns first. And then I'm playing one position down. So the next position of the B minor scale down the fretboard this way would be this. And then finally, the last one is probably the other scale that most people know, is the one starting on the 5th string. So the B note on the 5th string, which is the 2nd fret, playing that scale last. So that's the big takeaway here, is learn a scale through several positions, and you can make these much bigger legato runs that go all over the neck. You're not confined to this one, you know, little position way up here. So once you have that down, once you have those three positions down, you know, there and there and there, what I would probably do as the next step is just take simple patterns, maybe like the one we learned in the last lick, little 6-note pattern, and use that and work through the scale diagonally. So if I were to take that basic idea and work through those three patterns, it might sound like something like this. So that sounded pretty cool. And that idea was so simple. I played one lick and I just moved it down the neck. I did that pattern and just plated it down the scale, moving through those 3 positions. So I first played it up here on the 7, 9, and 10 on the first string. Then I played it on the second string in that position of the minor scale, so 10, 8, and 7. Then I played it 6, 7, 9. That's what that sounded like. Then I did 4, 6, 7. And then I think I went down to 4, 5, 7. So far we got this. And then, so that's this position. Then we move down to this position, right? Then move down to this position. Then we move finally down to this last position. In this one, it was 2, 4, 5 on the fourth string. And then I did pull off 5, 2 on the 5th string, landing on the B note on the 5th string. So that's an example of how you can get used to playing across multiple positions. It doesn't have to be really complicated. So again, you can try and play this lick that you see on the screen here, note for note, and try and do it that way. However I do that. But more important, I think, is to take away the concept and getting comfortable with moving through different positions of the scale. So that's it. That's the lick, and have fun experimenting with that concept. Okay, so there's the last lick, lick number 3, and I did some licks in the intermediate lesson in this position right here, this thing. That type of stuff. This is kind of sort of similar to that, but I do this trick right here that's really cool. A little harmonic trick. So what I'm doing there, this part, pretty straightforward. I just basically hammer on 3, 5, and then pull off 5, 3, 0, right? And then I do a little dive when I'm on that open string. So that's the first part. Now, when the note is bent down, what I do is I take my index finger and I lightly touch it without picking on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. If you know a harmonic, that's basically what you're doing here. You're playing a harmonic. So if you know this, that's basically what we're doing here, but we're doing it without the pick. What we're doing is, because the note's already ringing, we can still get the harmonic just by touching it very lightly. You hear, that in, Eddie Van Halen style stuff and 80s style. Hear that stuff all the time. But this is more of, a Jeff Beck, blues type concept, but context. But same basic idea. So to get good at that, just play that part. Do a pull off. Just repeat it like that until you get comfortable with that, how that touch feels on the index finger there. And you want to get that to sound really clean. You want to make sure that you're basically landing right above the fret, and you don't want to hit it too hard, because if you hit it with any force at all, you'll kind of lose the harmonic. You'll kill the note. So you have to be really sensitive when you're touching that string. So touch it really, really lightly. You'll know when you get it. So that's the basic lick. One more time at a slow speed.